I declutter my wardrobe, my apartment, my car. But what do you mean by your mind? Good morning, everyone. It feels like ages from my last video. I think the last one when I was recording was 2 months ago, but here we are, September. Let's crack on with these videos. Today's topic is declutter your mind. And I know this is kind of those topics where like, what that really means. Like, I declutter my wardrobe, my apartment, my car. But what do you mean by your mind? And I get you. I totally get you. I do it to my apartment, to my wardrobe, to my car, to my environment, but I never do it to my mind. Till August hit me. When August happened, I felt really tired, like mentally tired. Physically, I was okay, but mentally, I felt like I just need a break. Because last month, from pretty much April till end of July, it was really, really busy time for me personally and in business life as well. And it was just getting build in my mind. And I was literally sitting end of July and I felt like my thoughts are crushing my mind, that it's starting to be painful and that I don't know where my focus is anymore. And I feel like stressed. I feel a bit of anxiety and I feel like I'm overwhelmed with everything what happened. And it doesn't mean something bad happened because last few months were quite good, but it means it's just too much. So that's when I came with the idea, you know what, time to declutter. I started from my wardrobe and I thought like, why we do it for objects, why we don't do it for our minds? And that's when I started to do it. Today I'm gonna share with you exactly what I've done over the last 30 days to get to the point where I am today, which means mind light and which is as well getting things sorted in my life. And the whole video is pushing you towards this direction. So the first thing what I've done was to cut off all distractions. So everything in terms of social media was kind of distraction for me. It didn't help my mind to calm down. It was raising more and more ideas, more information. So what I've done, I cut it all. Everything. I was totally off of social media, apart one incident when someone stole my photos. But apart that, I was totally off social media. I was no posting, I was no creating any content, and I was not replying to any messages. So I was totally off on all social media, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, podcast. I didn't do anything of that. Apart that, what I limited is the information intake. Current times are hard, and when you read news, there is never good story, there is always bad stories. So I cut myself out of this information intake just to make sure I put my mind back to me, that I don't worry about the world situation because I cannot change it. That's the reality. So I cut the information intake. So that's number one. You cut yourself out of internet pretty much. That's how it is. Number two is your priorities. I had the situation that I had so many ideas that I didn't know what's the most important for me. What I should really do, what's good for my business, what's good for my private life. And it just bring crying, a lot of crying in my mind, because it was just like you want to do something, but you don't know what will be the right move. So I took this whole month to get through, to process certain things and to agree with myself what's the most important for me, what's my priority for next 6-12 months, and what action I'm going to actually take, what's needed for me to take, what I can drop, because maybe it's not the right time for those actions. So that was the number two, what you need to do, what you can do during this time when you give yourself to declutter your mind. And number three is if there is some actions or if there is some decisions which you are not sure about and you are thinking yes or no. My approach over last month was if it's not 100% yes, that means it's no. I was not accepting the answer maybe yes. It was no, if it's not 100% yes, that's it. That means I shouldn't do it. And that's number three. If you are unsure about your decision, if it's not 100% yes, it's no. Number four is to process things, to go through like your emotions, to go through your mind, to your thoughts, and let it go. And if you keep them in yourself, you are not moving forward because they hold you back. So you need to move forward, you need to let things go, but you need to process them first. And I'm not the person who in approach of life like just don't care and move on. I think we care for many things in our life, and to let it go, we need to process it in our minds. And I had many of these thoughts over what I needed to let go over last month. And there is many decisions which I've decided to let things go because maybe I cannot control them, or maybe this is not the right time for me to actually make them now. And a lot of these decisions, the situations for me was in terms of my business and in terms of my creativity, because there is so many products, so many ideas which I have, but physically we have just 24 hours and unfortunately I cannot make them all. And I know maybe that's simple choice for me. Maybe for your life, it will be something different, something harder, stronger, let's say, and you will need to let things go and process it. Over the last 4 years, when I do social media, it's 4 years now, and 2 years doing communication, I know how to work with myself. So there was no a lot of hard things to let go. But maybe in your life, there is something what's holding you back. Maybe that's something from your childhood, or maybe that's something from your old relationship, which is still holding you back, that you cannot move on in your life. And maybe you need a time just to sit and to process it and close the chapter and move on. Because if you want to do something new, in your mind, you need to find a space for it. Your mind is limited, like your wardrobe. It is limited. You cannot put 1,000 dresses in small wardrobe. You cannot. It's not going to fit. The same with your mind. If you load, and you don't let it go, how you expect to have space for more and maybe for the right things which is coming to your door? You won't. So let things go, but first process them. Maybe sit in them for a bit and later process them. And the last one, actually 2 more. One more is about creativity, because I know many people who watch this are creative souls. And I know during this rush life, creativity is increasing and you can have more and more ideas. So I've mentioned to you before about decision. That was number 2, choose your priority. And I don't want to mean that you need to drop everything else. I want you to store your creative ideas, or if they are not creative like for your business, but maybe for your life, maybe that's something what you want to do in your life, store them on one side. So I have the folder on my iPhone and I just store everything there. And I'm back there when I feel like I need some inspiration. So I'm just back to it and check, oh, actually, that's a good idea. I can use it now. Because that means that if the ideas comes, maybe they are not for the moment, but maybe they are for the future. So it's good to store them. So that's number 5. And the last one is to be careful what you consume. So when I took this month off, I told you I cut the news intake, the information intake. And for me, it was one of the best decisions because it didn't put me back to this spinning wheel of information, of stressing, of reacting on this all what's going on around. So that's the information intake. But with information, you need to let your mind as well to get some not even useful information. So I wrote the post 2 days ago, I think, that I watch a lot of Netflix because the Netflix for me is the moment when my mind is resting. So you need to find what's your resting mind moments. For me, it's just watching something really stupid on Netflix when I don't need to be really focused, when my thoughts are flying around and I don't need to control them. That's for me watching some movies which I really don't care if I will remember. So find your way of relaxing your mind. For some people, it could be meditation. For another people, it could be yoga, or for another, it could be running. It's up to you what it will be. But it's really important in this whole process to let your mind rest. And to rest is when you don't control what you think about. And most of the day, we control what we think about. So just rest. And that will be number 6, guys. Thank you very much for watching. It's good to be back for YouTube here. And if you have ideas for more videos for me, please drop me a message and I will see if I can record this for you. I'm definitely back twice a week now, so the next video will be on Saturday, so stay tuned for it. Thank you very much for watching, and if you didn't see my old videos yet about communication or about some inspiration, check the channel, there is a lot of them, and if you enjoyed the video, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, of course, as we are growing this channel together. Thank you so much and see you on the next one. Bye!